Nick de Vries has been let go by AlphaTauri, and Daniel Ricciardo is stepping in to take his place. Ricciardo, a veteran with 8 Grand Prix wins under his belt, will join the second Red Bull team on loan for the rest of 2023. But why did Red Bull make this move? What does this switch mean for both AlphaTauri and Red Bull? And could this decision be part of a larger plan? In this video, we're going to break down the details of this unexpected change and figure out why now is the perfect moment for Red Bull to make this shift. It's starting to look like this move isn't just a simple driver swap. De Vries hasn't been mentioned much in any official statements from either Red Bull or AlphaTauri, except for a brief mention by AlphaTauri's team principal, Franz Tost, who thanked him for his contributions. Tost said he was happy to welcome Ricciardo back into the team, pointing out that his driving skills are undeniable and that his experience will be a huge asset to the team. Ricciardo's integration should be smooth since he's already familiar with many of the team members. De Vries' exit came after just 10 races into the 2023 season, and it raised a lot of eyebrows. He was brought in by Red Bull after a standout performance in 2022 when he filled in for Alex Albon at Monza and finished 9th. But in his first full season, the results haven't been great. He's one of only 2 drivers who still haven't scored any points, with his best finish being 12th at the Monaco Grand Prix. To make matters worse, he's been outpaced by his teammate Yuki Tsunoda in nearly every qualifying session. For a while now, people have been questioning whether de Vries was the right fit for AlphaTauri. A week ago, Franz Tost even said that de Vries' future would be determined by his performances in the AT04 car. While many thought Liam Lawson, a Red Bull junior driver, would be the natural replacement, Red Bull surprised everyone by announcing Ricciardo's loan to AlphaTauri after his strong performance in a tire test at Silverstone. Ricciardo's performance in the tire test showed that he hasn't lost his touch. Red Bull's team principal, Christian Horner, praised him for his impressive times during the test, noting that they were competitive and showed that Ricciardo's skills were still sharp despite being away from racing for a while. This came as a huge confidence boost for the team. Ricciardo's best time during the test was just 0.7 seconds off Max Verstappen's pole time, though it's worth mentioning that they were using different tires and track conditions. Still, it's clear that Ricciardo is capable of pushing the car to its limits. Ricciardo's return to racing has been a topic of much anticipation among fans, and he himself is excited to be back with the Red Bull family. In his own words, he expressed his enthusiasm about rejoining the grid and working with the team again. But this isn't just a simple return to Formula One. There's more at play here. Ricciardo's move to AlphaTauri might not just be about him getting back on track, it could also be a strategic move aimed at putting him in line for a return to Red Bull racing. Now, the big question is why Red Bull is bringing Ricciardo into AlphaTauri when the team already has 2 drivers in place. The answer seems to lie in the current situation with Sergio Perez. While Ricciardo is eager to get back on the grid, his decision to join AlphaTauri might be more about securing a future spot at Red Bull Racing. Perez's form has been shaky this season, and despite his contract, there's been growing speculation about his future with the team. Perez has struggled with consistency, failing to make it into Q3 in 5 consecutive races. In contrast, Verstappen has continued to excel in the same car. Ricciardo, who already has experience driving for Red Bull, could be seen as a potential replacement if Perez's struggles continue. This move might be Red Bull's way of giving Ricciardo a chance to prove himself again, possibly setting him up for a shot at the top Red Bull seat in the future. Ricciardo's return also puts pressure on Perez. If Ricciardo can perform well at AlphaTauri, it could send a strong message to Perez that he needs to up his game if he wants to keep his spot at Red Bull. In a way, Ricciardo's presence in the team could serve as motivation for Perez to get back on track. Red Bull's approach to Perez's situation has been carefully handled, with Christian Horner offering support despite Perez's struggles. Horner has made it clear that Perez is not in danger of being replaced for next season, stating that the team continues to back him and believes in his ability to recover his form. However, the reality remains that Perez's performance has been inconsistent, and Red Bull may need to make tough decisions in the future if things don't improve. Ricciardo's return to Formula One, especially in a seat at AlphaTauri, could be seen as a bit of an insurance policy for Red Bull. If Perez's issues persist, Ricciardo is already in the fold, and Red Bull would have a driver ready to step into the main team. The fact that Ricciardo has returned to the grid with the support of Red Bull shows just how much the team values his experience and skill. And while it may not be the immediate solution for the main team, it could certainly be a pivotal move down the line. At the same time, it's important to consider the implications for AlphaTauri. With Ricciardo's arrival, the team is not just gaining a driver with significant experience, but also someone who can help lead the team through a transition period. AlphaTauri is in the midst of changes, with a new CEO, a new team principal, and plans for car upgrades. Ricciardo's presence could bring stability and leadership to a team that's been struggling to find its footing in recent seasons. Ricciardo's role at AlphaTauri is not just about filling a seat for the rest of the season. It's a strategic move for both the team and the driver. The upcoming changes at AlphaTauri, including leadership shifts and car design upgrades, could give Ricciardo the opportunity to contribute to the team's development. As the team transitions from being a purely young driver-focused squad to one that's looking to establish a more competitive presence, Ricciardo's experience and leadership could prove invaluable. For Ricciardo, this is a chance to demonstrate that he still has what it takes to compete at the highest level. If he can perform well at AlphaTauri, especially against his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, it would go a long way toward proving that his McLaren struggles were just a blip in his career. It's a crucial moment for Ricciardo to show Red Bull that he can still be a top contender, and AlphaTauri, despite being a junior team, could serve as a platform for him to do just that. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez's struggles are not just affecting his own position. They're also putting Red Bull in a tough spot. If Perez doesn't improve, Red Bull may need to make a decision about his future, and Ricciardo's success at AlphaTauri could be a key factor in that decision. The pressure is on, and the next few races could determine whether Perez can hold onto his seat or if Ricciardo will be given a shot at Red Bull Racing. The situation with Sergio Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and AlphaTauri is certainly one to watch. Red Bull has a unique approach to managing its drivers, and Ricciardo's return, while it may seem like a temporary fix, could have much bigger long-term implications. With AlphaTauri undergoing changes and Ricciardo eager to prove himself again, this move could be the perfect setup for him to show that he still belongs at the top of Formula One. For Perez, the pressure is mounting. His recent struggles have been hard to ignore, and with Ricciardo now in the fold, he knows that his spot at Red Bull could be at risk. Red Bull has always made bold decisions, and if Perez doesn't regain his form soon, Ricciardo's impressive performances at AlphaTauri could be the trigger for a change in 2024 or beyond. As for AlphaTauri, the arrival of Ricciardo is a sign that the team is shifting towards a more experienced approach, and with his guidance they could begin to make strides in their performance. Whether this ends up being a stepping stone for Ricciardo back to Red Bull Racing, or simply a way to keep his career alive, one thing is clear: the rest of the season will be critical for both him and Perez. What do you think of Ricciardo's return to Formula One? Will he manage to prove himself and find his way back to Red Bull Racing, or will Perez hold on to his seat despite the challenges? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.